the Lycian Way. And today is Lycian Way Day, and about 500 people from the local village are walking the Lycian Way, and I've joined them. The views are pretty good. This is how you know you're on the Lycian Way, this red and white stripe, though apparently some wags last year painted this in lots of the wrong places. Hilarious. In the rich, fertile, flat downlands in this area, most of the land is actually covered in greenhouses. And in those greenhouses are lots and lots of tomatoes. Tomatoes are very cheap around here, and they're the main export. The stretches of the Lycian Way are quite obviously ancient engineering. These are some of the only rocks I've seen which have been worn even a little bit smooth, and they're not very smooth. The man in the ancient world is a man with bare legs and sandals or barefoot, and yet everything around here, almost all the bushes are very thorny, and all the rocks are rough and jagged. So either they were very, very careful where they placed their feet in the ancient world, or they were just permanently scratched to ribbons. Olive groves. Someone has been working this land. And there he is. A man with a hoe. And here's a strange thing. We have here an aqueduct that goes downhill, then starts coming uphill again before it goes round and comes to where I'm standing now along this path. It's actually tiny remains of the water channel.
You can just make out part of the original bottom of the pipe in this picture. Now, a lot of people think of aqueducts as looking like this. Yes, very spectacular, but you wouldn't build something as enormous as this unless you had a really good reason. Most of the time, they just ran the aqueduct along the ground. But they weren't an open channel like a canal, because, well, for a start, they would lose a lot of water to evaporation along the way. Animals all along the route would drink from it and then perhaps add their own unwanted contributions. Unscrupulous farmers all along the route might be tempted to divert some of the water for their own personal purposes. So, to avoid all of the above, they would make it a sealed pipe. In fact, they were so well sealed that they could withstand quite a bit of water pressure, which meant that as long as you had a good long descent immediately preceding a smaller ascent, you could, for a short while, run an aqueduct uphill. So, then the crowd gathered at the waterhole. This was the well, which had long been used for watering passing animals along the roads. There was a donkey, was that a mule? I'm not sure. There was a pack pony which had been branded. Yep, not used to seeing that in Britain. Pet the donkey. And yeah, they had camels, real ones, and they will eat anything. They had two, in fact, and very heavy looking saddles. And anyway, people queued up in a very orderly fashion for the meal, which was very generous. Well, it was paid for by government money, actually. Do you know, I've never felt so tall in my life. I felt like I was on stilts there. Lots of children in rather fetching traditional costumes. Old ladies there in their headscarves. Everyone was very friendly and pleasant and very happy. The meal. Well, there was this sort of mild red stuff, and there was ubiquitous tomato salad, some rice thing. This was beige, and it was all washed down with water and the world's thinnest yogurt. Anyway, as the very distorted music played, it's good to know that they've learned how to distort music with modern technology. These boys gave us a very serious dance, yes. Things jollied up a bit, though, when the girls joined in. There's the proud choreographer there in the foreground. And I thought this bit was a bit Bollywood. Now, what do you think? Then, of course, the old folk had to get, noisy and raucous with their break dancing, or whatever they call it, banging drums and just generally being loud. The gendarmes there were worried about the trouble. They were there with submachine guns, would you believe it? Anyway, of course, they with their hip-hop, is it called, dancing, they had to get very suggestive. And I don't know if I approve of this sort of thing, with their bling scarves. And that guy's got sabres. The guy with the magnificent tash there had sabres there. And oh, of course, yes, they had to have their rap music. Anyway, took a few more photographs, and then after a bit we were back on the road again, and we walked back round the hills and back to the village. It was, all in all, it was a grand day out.